First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Opening play, and Goff wants to pass it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. In search of redemption from the pick six. Goff. And that is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Out of the gun, Goff. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Let's go now.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff eluding the pressure right. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
Let's go now.
After the turnover, it's Tua. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Now Tua. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The lines move there. Look like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Goff a handoff here to Swift. Evades him at the 20. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run here with Swift. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
A loss of 2 yards. It's 4th down.
Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And take it right at the 35. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football.
36-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're probably lucky to only be down 7-0 as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Goff. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
To throw is gone. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good time.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Mike Hughes. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Goff now looks to throw. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run right here with Swift. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Tua. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Tua going to throw. Got a man, complete to Cedric Wilson. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 25-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
On the set.
On play action, here's Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. The Lions at 2-4 here in the first half of the year. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And, that would get a wide up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now it's gone. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, but he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I don't have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Ready.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. It's complete. This is Derrick Henry. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 44-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Here we go.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Set, ready. Ready.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Yellow, line, check, pink.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Here's Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and 4.
Super one. 17.
Now Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Opposite. Green.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the 2nd half gets started. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Looking to pass. Tua. to a hit, and the ball is out. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Taking on the midfield logo. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Goff now looking to throw. Pass complete downfield. It's Raymond. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a give right side Swift. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram able to record his 5th sack of the season.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
And he will slide down with a good gain. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On 4th down, Goff departs, and Austin Seibert is out there for the Lions field goal now. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Seibert's kick is good, and they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Tagovailoa trying again after the pick 6. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Tua sets up to pass it. This will go to Henry out wide. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
Here's Tua. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Now Tua. Touchdown Dolphins. Trent Sherfield, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit. Goff now to throw. The quick throw finds T.J. Hockenson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
A gain of 10 yards. That's good for a Lions.
Now a 1st down throw. Goff. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. But to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Goff throwing again. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Throwing on third. Goff. Flushed out right. Finds his target. It's Swift along the sideline. 23 yards, the final tally.
Every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Goff on target to Hockenson. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown! So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
17.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. To a hit, and the ball is out. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Value three.
Here's a handoff to Swift running left. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here comes an important one now for Austin Seibert. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or two, but it's no good as it stands. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, inbounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. And this is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Lions 17.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Goff. And Sharp hauls it in. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Goff. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now it's Goff. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. A big play there for Detroit. 63 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and... And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Lions have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. It's a squib kick fielded just inside the 20. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 and the 24. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. That one looks like he'll throw here. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Detroit. 49 yards. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Goff now to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
On 2nd down, Swift. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. 3rd and goal from the 6. They will run it with Swift here. And for the 3rd straight play, he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And with 4 seconds remaining, they will call the timeout. So just enough of a cushion there to bring on the field goal unit and try to send this one to the extra session. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. 4 seconds to go. This would send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's going to be stopped short of a 1st down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Well, they only need about a half a foot. It's overtime, but they're back in their own territory.
And you know those decision makers that are battling inside the head coach's mind right now? One saying, hey, offense is pretty good. Other one saying, no, rely on your defense. That's what you've got to decide in this situation. Where do you have the confidence? That determines what you're going to do.
Here we go with Williams. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted. Because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it, and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify it with is it was only a few inches that they needed. If it's 4th and 2, probably doesn't do it. Hey, he got it. Give him credit.
Yeah, but if they don't pick it up,
then you're in trouble.
Yeah, they're giving points to the other team at that stage.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Go off a handoff here to Swift. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Gone. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They run. It's Williams. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. Steps away to his left. And that's going to be caught downfield by Chark. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Value three.
Now a play fake, and it's gone. He'll buy some time right. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. Boy, that's a tough one right there, CD. They fought back to tie it, to send it to overtime, had all the momentum, and then that interception.
That fighting spirit, those fighting plays that got them back into it, maybe a little too aggressive there, throwing the interception, and now they've opened the door to get beat by a field goal coming back the other way.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
All right, what can Tua do now with his drive in OT? And going deep for Hill. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Detroit, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field.